morning, people. Welcome back to F Politics. Kemi Badenoch was just voted to become the leader of the Conservative Party. Now, you might be wondering what it does to race politics in the UK to have a black leader of a party that the United Nations says is trying to normalise white supremacy, and which is funded by Frank Hester, a man who once said that Diane Abbott makes him want to hate all black women and that she should be shot. Now, if I were to come on here and tell you that Kemi Badenoch's primary function is to act as a get-out-of-racism free card for the Conservative Party, you wouldn't believe me, because after all, I'm apparently just a left-wing conspiracy theorist, right? So instead, I'm going to let Kemi, and people like Kemi, say it for me.
All my supporters were white, all the members who were helping me, delivering my leaflets, doing the work. We had a stand, and there they were championing this 28-year-old black woman, and people were shouting racists at them. And I just couldn't understand. They were all Labour Party members who just thought that that's just what you say to Conservatives. And if my being here, if my standing up as a senior member of the Conservative Party helps to destroy that myth, then I will continue to do so no matter what. I'm here to defend my party.
So she has explicitly said in the last couple of months that she is seeking that high position in the Conservative Party as a black woman in order to defend the Conservative Party against accusations of being racist. That is the role that she promised Conservative Party members that she would be playing, and then they voted to make her the leader of their party. And here's the thing that's messed up about that, because Kemi Badenoch has regularly said that it is almost racist to imply that all black people must think a certain way when it comes to politics. And yet she's the one saying that if she, as a black woman, is a leader of the party, then the party can't be racist. This is somebody who explicitly said,
"We do not want to see teachers teaching their white pupils about white privilege, and let me be clear, any school which teaches these elements of critical race theory as fact without offering a balanced treatment of opposing views is breaking the law."
Even though white privilege was mathematically established in her own government's figures, whether it's police stopping and searching black people 7 times more than white people, or her own government's race report saying that if you have a black-sounding name, you have to send 80% more job applications to get a callback. Yet she sought to make it literally illegal for teachers to teach about the facts of systemic racism that her own government uncovered. She also said this last month:
I think people need to stop focusing so much on race, certainly on the centre-right side of the argument. I firmly believe in a colourblind society, and I think the colour of your skin shouldn't matter any more than the colour of your eyes or the colour of your hair, and we should focus on people's character. That was what Martin Luther King, talked about, and I think we got there. I think we were there late 90s, early 2000s.
Again, denying the facts that are available on her own government's website, and after admitting that the Tory donor Frank Hester, saying that Diane Abbott makes him want to hate all black women and that she should be shot, was racist, she then argued for his forgiveness. So at every opportunity, Kemi Badenoch has sought to cover up racism in her party and in the country. Now, if you cover up racism, you prevent anybody taking steps to get rid of it, which is in effect supporting racism, which is racist. Yet despite having a clearly racist agenda, Kemi Badenoch is arguing that her as a black woman, as leader of the Conservative Party, means the party can't be racist. So she's in effect arguing that people should judge the Conservative Party by her skin colour, not the content of her character, and she has the absolute nerve to quote Martin Luther King. Now, even though I've given you the facts of Kemi Badenoch admitting that she's willing to be used to cover up racism, some of you might still have doubts about whether or not conservative organisations would actually be so manipulative that they would use black and brown faces this way. Or if you do meet somebody that does have those kinds of doubts, just say the name Dominique Samuels. She's the black conservative writer for the Daily Mail who blew the whistle on how the Daily Mail would write racist articles and then pay her to put her name to them. And it was only after what they tried to get her to write about Notting Hill Carnival that she said enough is enough. So the practice of using black and brown faces to whitewash racism has been proven at the highest level of the right-wing establishment. See, these people have no principles. They'll claim to have principles, but only on the days that it suits them. Like Kemi Badenoch, despite her whole thing being about denying racism and sexism, when David Tenant told her to shut up, she immediately accused him of racism and sexism. She tried to argue for cutting maternity pay, knowing that would disempower women in the workplace.
Wasn't any maternity pay, and people were having more babies. We need to make sure.
Well, that's because women often had to not work. They had to stay at home.
When another Conservative MP tried to use her being a mother as a reason to deny her a job.
As much as I like Kemi, I think she's preoccupied with her own children.
She started coming out with feminist arguments.
I might remind him that it isn't always women who have parental responsibilities.
Okay.
Men do too.
So anybody looking at her as a black woman in power, thinking that's going to be good for black people or women, you clearly don't know her. Make sure you follow F Politics so politics doesn't F you. Have a great week.